The quiet hum of my old desktop, soon to be sold, was a comforting drone. But that comfort would soon be replaced by a chilling silence, a prelude to something far more sinister than I could have imagined. This is the story of how a simple Craigslist ad turned my home into a cage of fear. It was 2013, and at 22, I, Ethan, was just looking to offload my outdated computer. Craigslist felt like the obvious choice. Back then, it was just a platform, a digital marketplace, not a shadowy nexus of urban legends and cautionary tales. I felt safe in my suburban bubble, a feeling that would soon shatter. A day later, an email from someone named Cameron popped up. They agreed to my asking price provided the machine worked as described. I assured them they could test it upon pickup, and we set a meeting for the following morning. I woke early, a low hum of anticipation vibrating in my chest, but as 11 a.m. rolled around, no email, no sign of Cameron. By 11:15, a flicker of irritation, then worry, began to prickle. I pulled back the curtains, turned on the TV, half watching, half scanning the street. Then, at roughly 11:45, a dark sedan, unremarkable yet instantly unsettling, crawled slowly down my street. It stopped directly in front of my house. The engine idled, a low, guttural purr that seemed to vibrate through the pavement, through my very bones. I froze, my hand hovering over the remote, my heart thumping a frantic rhythm against my ribs. This had to be Cameron, but minutes dragged into an eternity. The car didn't move, the engine didn't cut. Then, without warning, it executed a tight U-turn and sped off, vanishing around the corner. My breath hitched. I stood there, peering through the window, my mind a chaotic swirl of what just happened. Was that Cameron, or some random stranger? The thought gnawed at me. I closed the curtains, the room suddenly feeling smaller, colder. I sent an email to Cameron, a curt, "Did you come by?" The silence of my inbox was my only reply. After an hour of pacing, of trying to rationalize the inexplicable, I shrugged it off. It was just a coincidence. I had lunch, then dinner, and by 9 p.m. I was in bed, exhausted, eager for the oblivion of sleep. Sleep found me quickly, a dark, welcoming embrace. But it was fleeting. I woke, my eyes snapping open, the digital clock glowing 11:08 p.m. Only 2 hours. A faint, almost imperceptible thump reached me. It was so soft I almost dismissed it as my house settling, a trick of the night. I squeezed my eyes shut, willing sleep to return. But then it came again, clear this time, a rhythmic, deliberate thump, thump, thump. It was downstairs. Not the familiar creaks of an old house, but something alien, something wrong. A cold dread began to coil in my stomach, tightening with each beat. My breath hitched. Was the furnace acting up? A pipe burst? My mind scrambled for rational explanations, but my instincts screamed intruder. Every fiber of my being urged me to stay put, but a morbid curiosity, a desperate need to understand, pulled me from the bed. The floorboards were icy beneath my bare feet. Each step down the hallway felt like an eternity, every shadow a potential threat. The sound grew louder, more distinct as I descended the stairs. Thump, thump, thump. It felt like a slow, deliberate pacing. The house was a suffocating darkness. The only light, the faint, pallid glow from the streetlights filtering through the front windows. I moved through the kitchen, my movements jerky, my heart hammering a frantic drum against my ribs. The air grew thick, heavy with the scent of damp earth and something vaguely metallic like old blood. An oppressive cold seeped into my bones. I rounded the corner into the back hallway where the utility room and a small unused back door lay. As my eyes adjusted, the shadows shifted, coalescing into something indistinct yet undeniably present. A large, dark form moved just outside the back window, a window I rarely used. Thud. A sickening, sharp impact against the glass, making the pane rattle violently in its frame. I gasped, recoiling, my back hitting the wall with a jolt. The shadowy figure outside froze, its movement ceasing. Then it began to shift, slowly, deliberately. The darkness around it seemed to deepen, sucking in the faint light. My eyes, wide with terror, strained to make sense of the form. It leaned closer, closer still, until a face, distorted by the grime and condensation of the glass, pressed against the pane. Not a clear face, but a grotesque caricature. A blotch of pale skin, two cavernous black eyes, and a wide, unnatural grin. Those eyes, flat and devoid of any humanity, locked onto mine. A cold so profound it felt physical seeped into my bones. A paralysis that held me captive. Time ceased to exist. Every breath was a struggle. It wasn't just looking, it was seeing me, piercing through my very soul. The silence was deafening, broken only by the frantic drumming of my own heart, reverberating in my ears like a death knell. Then, as swiftly as it appeared, the face vanished. The shadowy form recoiled, a blur of motion, and I heard the faint rustle of leaves as it sprinted away into the oppressive darkness of my backyard. The paralysis shattered. Adrenaline surged through my veins, hot and cold, a firestorm of terror. I scrambled back, fumbling for my phone, my fingers clumsy and numb. I dialed 911, my voice a ragged whisper recounting the impossible events. But by the time the police arrived, the streetlights illuminating the empty lawn, there was nothing. No footprints, no trace. Only the lingering scent of damp earth and something acrid, metallic in the air. And the back window. The latch was still secured, but the frame just below it was deeply scored, gouged, as if something impossibly strong had tried to pry it open, leaving a grotesque scar. They called it a possible attempted break-in, a random act. They found no connection to Cameron, no solid proof beyond the unsettling coincidence of the day. But I knew. I felt it in my bones, in the persistent chill that now clung to my house, in the way every shadow seemed to stretch and writhe. I never heard from Cameron again. I never posted on Craigslist again. My house, once a sanctuary, now felt like a fragile shell, its safety irrevocably breached. The image of those eyes, cold and black, pressed against the glass, is etched into my memory. A constant reminder of the thin veil between our mundane reality and the terrifying unknown lurking just beyond the pane. Sometimes, late at night, when the house settles, I still hear it, a faint, deliberate thump, thump, thump. And I wonder if it was Cameron or something far worse that tried to claw its way in. This experience taught me a chilling truth. Our deepest fears aren't always about what we see, but about what we don't see, what we almost see, and the gnawing doubt that gnaws at our sanity when the lines between reality and nightmare begin to blur. It's a testament to how vulnerable we truly are, even within the supposed safety of our own homes, to the forces we cannot comprehend or control. If you were Ethan, alone in that house, would you have investigated those sounds, or would you have stayed hidden in bed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, if it sent a shiver down your spine, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling tales that blur the line between the everyday and the utterly terrifying.